Hi Yogi, and welcome to another episode of Out of Office Yoga with me, Oceana. In today's practice, we'll again be just taking a 10 to 15 minute movement break to limber, strengthen and mobilize a particular part of the body. Today we'll really be focusing on the legs into the feet, and we'll get right into it. The only thing you really need is a stable chair that can support your body weight ideally. So from here we'll have the feet hip distance. We'll face the backrest of the chair with the hands resting if you wish for balance. And we'll be doing 10 calf raises. So slowly shift your weight into the balls of the feet so that your heels hover just above the floor. And gradually start to lift all the way onto the balls of the feet so that you come really, really high onto your tiptoes. And again, lower, just hover above the floor. And we'll do that for another 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring your heels all the way down. From here, step your left foot forward, step the right foot at least a leg length back, it might even be slightly wider. Then spin the heel all the way down. You can have your toes slightly turned out by about 10 to 15 degrees. Keep a deep bend on the left knee and really send some weight back. Press down through your back pinky toe and the outer edge of your right foot. Now, if there's already a lot of calf stretch going on here and it's quite an overpowering sensation, then stay here. Otherwise, if you want to take it a little bit further, start leaning forward into your chair. You can even rest your forearms on the chair for a moment and deepen the bend on your front knee, but keep pressing back through the outer edge of your back foot very actively here. And we stay for a couple of rounds of breath. So with each exhale, have a sense that you're softening the back leg, really sending the breath out through the leg. If you can sort of think of the breath in that way. Gently step the back foot forward, switch sides. So step left foot as far back as you can until you feel that gentle tugging on the back of your left calf. Again, press down through the outer edge of your left foot as well as the left pinky toe. If you wish, you can stay here. The hips are facing straight on towards your chair. Optional to bend the front knee a little bit deeper to take yourself deeper into the stretch. Maybe even lean forward without losing that engagement in the back leg and back foot. And again, we stay for a few rounds of breath here, just allowing the body to settle into the stretch. So of course, we've contracted the calf muscle to begin with, and now we're lengthening it. And very gently step all the way back to the front. From here, we'll shift our weight into the left foot again. We'll step the right big toe behind us, and optional here, you can stay in this variation, especially if you have quite tight sort of fascia along the front line of your foot. Otherwise, if you want to take it a little bit further, you bring all of your right toes to face down towards the floor. If, like me, you have hardwood floors, this is a little bit painful, but bear with it, it does get slightly better. You could either stay here, so especially if you're already feeling a stretch along the front of your ankle, the front of the foot, all the way up into the shin, then certainly stay. Otherwise, if you want to take it a little bit further, you send the hips down and back and bend your standing leg. And again, we're here for a few rounds of breath, so settle in with the breath. And gently swap sides, so right foot comes forward, you shift your weight into the right foot. Again, you could either simply be touching the big toe down or the left toes all come to the floor. Maybe you're even bending the standing leg to take yourself deeper into that stretch along the front line of the foot as well as the calf. Stay with it for a few rounds of breath. Really visualize every exhale that you're sending the exhalation out through the feet. And slowly step yourself all the way back forward. Again, the weight shifts into your left leg. We'll see if we can pick up the right foot, maybe reach for the outer edge of the foot. And once you've caught that, really aim the heel of the foot towards your sitting bone on the same side. And if the heel is touching, then you're aiming the knee all the way down towards the floor. And that should take you into a slightly deeper stretch here. So you should really feel this along the entire front line of your thigh, your quad. And if you're aiming the knee down, then you might feel a sensation that's almost sort of feels a little bit deeper. That stretch is usually your vastus intermedius muscle, which in some people, especially if you're very flexible, actually gets sort of chronically tight. And it's one of the muscles that stabilizes the knee joint. And we'll swap sides. Again, shift the weight over to the right foot, pick up the left foot with your left hand. See if you can draw the heel towards the sitting bone, and then if you're all the way there, aim the knee towards the floor, so directly down, really lengthening the whole front line of muscles running along the front of the thigh. Gently release. And from here, we'll step about a leg length with the feet apart. We'll turn the toes out by about 45 degrees. So sometimes in yoga, we refer to this with the bent knees as goddess pose. Sometimes it's horse stance. I guess especially because I have a little bit of a Tai Chi background, I tend to refer to it as horse stance. From here, we'll lift the arms all the way up. We'll have the legs straight to begin with. Then as you exhale, you're going to have the left hand on top of the right and press the hands down as you bend the knees and press the knees away from each other. Really almost tucking your tailbone under, so drawing and lengthening the lower back towards the floor. Inhale takes you all the way back up and overhead. This time we'll have right hand on top of the left, pressing down as you exhale towards the floor. Really sink the hips as low as you can. And one more time, each side. Inhale lifts you up. Left hand on top as you exhale to press down. One more time. Right hand is on top. Exhale to press down. From here, as you sweep the arms up, straighten the legs, turn your feet parallel to each other. Keep a gentle bend on the knees. Hands come to the hips. Start to aim your chest forward towards the floor, so you're really hinging from the hip joint to come forward. And you could stay here. You could always bring your chair in front of you so you can rest on the seat of the chair. Otherwise, maybe the hands can come all the way underneath your shoulders. And if that's easily accessible, you could bend the elbows, maybe bring the palms flat. So you're aiming the crown of the head towards the floor. And maybe shifting your weight a little bit forward into the balls of the feet so that you get a deeper stretch in the back of the body. And eventually maybe dropping the head completely so you can take a few circles of the head, maybe for a few times, nodding yes and no to release a little bit of the tension in the back of the neck. And gently from here, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, bend the knees, hands to the hips as you come all the way up. Inhale. From here, I'll grab the chair so I can face you. And we'll do some seated exercises here, especially for the feet. So make sure that when you come into your chair that you're sitting towards the front of the chair, which should allow you to bring your feet flat to the floor. Otherwise, use something to elevate your feet up on so that you have a 90-degree angle from the hip to the knee all the way down to the foot. We're going to either reach for the armrest of your chair or for the outer edges of the chair here. Shift your weight into your right leg and lift the left foot all the way, so you're pressing the heel away and flexing the toes towards your face. You can still keep a bend on the knee, especially if straightening the legs means that you have to round the spine. So always feel free to keep the knees bent at any point. But really focus on pressing the heel away, and then for a couple of rounds we'll simply point and flex the toes. And from here we'll circle the toes around the ankle in one direction and changing direction. And then point the toes again, and from here we'll pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the foot all the way down and change sides. So again, shift your weight into the left leg. Flex the right toes towards your face. Extend the leg as much as you need to, or bend the knee if you need to. And again, simply for a couple rounds, pointing and flexing the toes, really articulating through all of the toes as you do that. And then taking a couple circles in each direction. Point the toes again, and from here we'll pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, a little bit more complicated, so we'll shimmy our way to the back of the chair. You can have your left heel resting on the chair, and then hook your left arm under the knee. Grab hold of your opposite biceps, and then hook your right hand on top of the knee. And from here, we'll turn the toes in and flex the foot. So this would be the toes pointing forward in the same direction as the knee, but we're internally rotating, so we flex the toes and turn them over towards the right. And from here, we'll lift the foot, then we'll externally rotate the toes to face towards the left and release the foot back down, and we'll do that 2 more times. Internal rotation, lift the leg, external rotation to release the foot. And 1 last time on each side. External rotation as you come down. And from here, see if for a couple of rounds you can rotate the ankle around the knee in one direction and reverse the direction for a couple rounds. Then release that side and swap to the second side. So again, you can start with the heel resting on the chair. Right hand goes under the knee and reaches for the opposite biceps, and then the left hand goes to the top of the knee. So you really sort of have hooked yourself in here. And again, we'll flex the toes. We'll internally rotate the shin here. From there, lengthening the heel up towards the ceiling. You don't have to straighten the leg all the way. Externally rotate the foot, so that then you can release the heel. 2 more times, internal rotation as you lift, external rotation as you release. 1 last time, each side. Externally rotate to come down. And again here, see for a couple rounds, you can rotate the ankle around the knee. A little bit of a clicking there. And eventually release the foot all the way down. Shimmy back onto the front of your chair. And from here, we're going to, this is actually an exercise we used to do all the time to warm up in surfing. And I still think is really useful because the foot sort of moves in slightly different planes along different planes of movement than the rest of the body. And this really helps you articulate through all of those. So we'll be drawing the alphabet with the feet, or with our toes rather. So it's sort of something you have to have a good deal of imagination about, but it is something that even in your regular office you could be doing secretly under your desk and nobody would ever know. It's very incognito mobilization work. So you can have the hands resting on the sides of the chair, sit nice and tall. And then let's start with the left foot, and we're only going to do half the alphabet per foot, I meant to say. Okay, so we'll start from A. Oh, and I should say we're going to do the Western English alphabet. You can obviously feel free to go crazy and do kanji or whatever, but I'll leave that up to you. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and L. And then we'll swap sides. So right leg, we'll do M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And that's that. From here, come all the way to stand, make fists with your hands. And now we're going to release some of the fascia and the muscles all the way down through the legs. So we'll start with the front line of the body. We'll come all the way forward through the thighs and down to the outside of your shin bone. And tapping the back of the calf here. And the inside of the calf as much as you can. It's sort of, some parts are a little bit more tricky. And then you can go around the outer edges of your thighs and all the way the back line of the thighs. So just a really good sort of pummeling for yourself. And that's it. So of course, You can repeat these exercises at any point. You can always come back to the video. If you have anything that you would particularly like for me to cover, any areas of strain or tension, leave it in the comments down below. All of your questions, pop them down there too. Of course, if you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. That's the most helpful thing you can do to support the channel. And otherwise, I will see you back here next week for another episode of Out of Office Yoga. Of course, if you want to find me anywhere else in the meantime, all of that information is in the description for the video, all of my handles. And either way, I hope to connect with you really soon. See you then, Yogi. Bye.